reaction episode to William Finnegan's Barbarian Days, the section where he talks about surfing in San Francisco, in particular Ocean Beach. I think Ocean Beach is, in my view, the most challenging beach that I've surfed. I've surfed up and down the coast, California, and obviously also share Finnegan's view of the world. I mean, having read his book, and he, as an experienced surfer, also looks at Ocean Beach as one of the most challenging surfs out there. And I think maybe San Francisco is an old man's home for young people. It is sometimes relatively dull, left wing, mediocre. And there's a lot of things that San Francisco has not going for it. But there's one thing where it's not mediocre, one thing where it's top of the top, and that is the surf on Ocean Beach. It's probably the toughest paddle out there. The waves are very, very tough, scary, cold, the weather, the wind, the currents. It's quite a challenge, and I think that has given me, as a resident of San Francisco, a very different approach towards the city, and I think I shared that with Finnegan. This is my reaction to his part talking about surfing in San Francisco. This is not in wrong podcast. It's January 3rd, 2022. This is Krim Delco. This is the second episode today. The markets are closed now. For the day, we are up 12.95%. The market's up 65 basis points. We're outperforming by 12.3%. It's the first day, and the main performance comes from Tesla, which I've discussed in the first episode already. It's the exceptional delivery numbers that they delivered in the fourth quarter that are driving the stock. I want to talk about William Finnegan's Barbarian Days, in particular his comments on surfing Ocean Beach, San Francisco. Let me set the stage first. Ocean Beach, San Francisco is a full 4-mile stretch starting from Land's End, which is the southern part of the entrance to the Golden Gate. It's a park with hills and eucalyptus and pines and all kinds of beautiful trees, and a very beautiful place to hike. And then from there you sort of slope down into Ocean Beach. It's a bay. It looks a little bit like Bondi Beach, Sydney, for example. And then it just goes 4 miles stretch of sandy beach. It's a beach break, so there's no particular signature break or pier or river mouth or anything like that. It's just simply 4 miles of beach break. There's lots of sandbars under the ground that define the waves, and I think for people who are interested in more details, I think Finnegan's elaborations on how the wave breaks and where it breaks and why it breaks and all that are much more accurate than mine. But what I can say as a surfer is the following. First, I think there's no particular pattern. You can't go and sort of pinpoint, okay, the wave is good here versus there. Some days there is, but overall it's almost, I wouldn't say random, but if it's good, it's good everywhere. If it's bad everywhere. That's kind of how the way I see it. I usually surf either around the bathhouse or around Beach Chalet. Finnegan surfs in many other places, as he says in the book. You surf sort of based on the avenues, so Irvine, Judah, Noriega, Pacheco, Ulea, Pavona, Sloat. So you just call the avenues where you surf. I don't do that because there's a couple of things. The parking lot is more convenient there, and it's a little bit more safe, things like that. So that's sort of the stage. Now, the one thing that Ocean Beach is absolutely known for is it is a very, very tough paddle out, because it's kind of like swimming against the waterfall. And I often joke that, to me, Ocean Beach is extreme swimming with the occasional wave ridden. And why is that? Because you really don't get to surf much. It's on regular days, I would say it's a long wait between sets, and even then to catch something. And now, I'm also not the most skilled surfer out there. I actually started surfing around there. I did not surf until moving to San Francisco, and I started surfing around Ocean Beach. So, and even Finnegan says in his book, it's not the place to learn how to surf. You're much better off going to places like Pacifica, Surfers Beach in Half Moon Bay, Rodeo Beach in Marin County. Those are much better places to actually surf than Ocean Beach. Just for again, the paddle out is very tough, and then also the waves can be very tough. I think Finnegan talks about the scariness of the waves. I've been caught several times on the lip of waves. It's a thunder of violence crashing onto you. There's turbulence, shock waves in the water. You sometimes get catapulted to the surface. Fortunately, I've never had a big injury from there. I probably tore my meniscus in one of those waves, but that was just an unfortunate rookie mistake I made. I don't think there was a particular event where I hit the ground or something that happened. I did hurt my shoulder once at Rodeo Beach where I hit the ground. That was also a rookie mistake. I was way too close to the shore, took the wave, crashed, and then hit the ground there. So there's a lot of mistakes you can make. The wave is unforgiving when it comes to mistakes, and this is probably one of the first lessons that surfing Ocean Beach gives you, and that's why I think it's such a challenging spot. It just has no room for error. It doesn't let you make mistakes. It doesn't give you a chance to bail out of mistakes, and to me that's a scary proposition. But it's also it's something I look for in life. It's the A+ player that I look for, that we try to invest in Orange Capital Partners, that we try to be ourselves, that we try to instill in our kids. Be an A+ player, make an effort. Life is hard enough, things are hard, complicated. You might as well try to do your best. And Ocean Beach kind of gets that out of you. You can't. Ocean Beach doesn't take prisoners. There's no room for error. There's none of that stuff. You just have to deliver, swim out there and try to catch those waves. When you catch them, they're sometimes amazing. I've had some of the best surfs on Ocean Beach. I've clearly done. Now my favorite wave. Okay, since I'm on that topic, my absolute favorite wave in California is actually Asilomar between Monterey and Carmel Beach. And I am happy to talk about this wave. I think the difference between Asilomar and Ocean Beach is that the paddle out is a lot more humane, and then the break is a lot softer, and you can really ride very high waves there because the break's soft. Even it doesn't crash on you. It just breaks softly. There's no perpendicular lip crashing on you. It's usually a little bit of a flatter, downward sloping face that gives you a chance to duck under, duck dive and all that. So that would be my favorite wave because it's just the most beautiful place, and I think the visuals do matter. It's like skiing. When you ski very narrow, dark, gorgeous couloirs and things like that, it's just scary, and that has an impact on the way you ski something. And I think that's the same way applies to surfing. I've surfed lower trestles down in San Clemente. That's probably the best wave in California as far as technical surfing is concerned. The world championship of the World Surf Tour, the final was held there. Gabriel Medina won in 2021, and I can see why. It's a very technical wave. It gives you a chance to do maneuvers. Very nice break, beautiful. I've surfed Black's Beach. I've surfed a couple other beaches in SoCal. I have surfed San Luis Obispo. I have not surfed Los Angeles beaches, so Rincon and Point Doom and things like that. I just haven't surfed those things yet. I will hopefully in a month or so go on a trip to surf Rincon. And then hopefully have better ideas of how that is. But let's get back to Ocean Beach. So Ocean Beach, again, some of the best surfs I've had are actually there, but they're very rare. Most of the time, Ocean Beach is scary, cold, and I want to talk a little about the emotional effect of Ocean Beach. So when you get there with your car, you sit on the parking lot, you look outside. Very often the wind blows, sometimes it rains, it's foggy, the fog comes in, sometimes you don't even see the beach. And when you see it, you look out there, the breaks almost never look threatening because it's so wide and so big that for you to actually even appreciate the height of the wave, they really have to be very high. And that's just an optical illusion. So usually looking at, a little bit of white water, a lot of noise, even from the parking lot, which is probably about 150 meters from the beach. So you can feel the noise, feel the energy, and there's a certain fear that I feel every time I'm there, and there's a certain fear to be overcome. I surf Ocean Beach almost every day. I pride myself of having my routine. I usually spend my mornings in my boxing gym where I box. I train Muay Thai and boxing, and then I try to go surf. And then after I'm done with that, that's usually my workout day is done. After that, pick up my son from school, drive him to soccer, do some work, all that stuff. So this is kind of my routine day in San Francisco, and I would say Ocean Beach has given me purpose to stay in San Francisco. Again, I'm not very happy with the city as far as challenge, and it is an old man's home for young people in many ways, and not very interesting for me. But when it comes to nature and surfing, it's the best in the world. So it has that one thing where it's the best. And like many things in life, if you're good at one thing, that's usually enough. At least for me, it's enough. You're an A-plus player as far as hikes and surfing is concerned. It's a place I wanna be around. I wanna stick around. So this is how I feel about San Francisco and the surfing. But let's get back to the emotional feeling. And this is, I think, what Finnegan really describes very well in his book. The way he talks about the fear, just looking out there. This is a fear I usually don't have. I've never had in any other wave. I've sometimes had in skiing, for example, some of the double black diamonds in Jackson Hole or in Whistler. I'm just coming from Salt Lake City now, so Alta and Snowbird actually don't have that scary stuff. But there is sometimes you have that fear, and I think Ocean Beach encompasses all of it. The power, the wind, the cold, the dark water, all these things come together. And I think that's one of the things that I've learned to overcome. And I think I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful for San Francisco and Ocean Beach for giving me this experience. It's one of the most interesting experiences that I've had in many years, actually, surfing Ocean Beach. And it's not necessarily the wave. I mean, again, if you catch a good wave there, it is an unbelievable experience. It is much more the overcoming of the fear. And I think that's what Finnegan is really explaining very well. I think before I end this episode, I just want to mention also the power that surfing has given me. It's something that I'm still struggling for words, and I'm going to have to be much better at that in my biography that hasn't gotten yet to the point where I start surfing here in California. But I just want to say a few things. I think since we got in our Tesla about a year and a half ago, we've done a lot of road trips, and most of the road trips were around beach surf type trips. So that's one of the things California is, of course, known for. I'm not the first one to do it, but it's one of those things that it's famous and you know about it, but until you do it, you don't know how amazing it is. So to jump in the car with your board in the back and just drive down south, Half Moon Bay, Santa Cruz, Monterey. This is usually what we do. And then again, we've done trips all the way down to San Diego. There's so many nice breaks, so many nice beaches. It's really something that California is unbelievably unique. I don't know how other places are in the world, Australia, but California has that beautiful nature to it, beautiful character of surfing. And Finnegan is very good at actually explaining that, particularly the beach break on Ocean Beach. I think that's one of the things I really appreciate in his book, this flow, this narrative, this beautiful language that pulls you in. It gives you this emotional relationship with the activity, and I think that's one of the main skills that Finnegan brings down in Barbarian Days. Thank you.